Go.
Mosh Moshy. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Stevie.
Are we live now, Michael?
We are live.
I'll just update your page. Hang on. Let's so I can see if it's live or not. Yes, we're live. We are live. We're live.
Excellent.
Mosh Moshy.
He's actually putting that.
Michael, Michael, be not afeared, Michael. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. And sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum around thy ears and the live streams, and sometimes voices. Then, if I had waked after a long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked, I cried to stream again.
You're streaming. We are streaming. It's been a while.
Was that a bit over the top? Right.
Been a while.
So we're in the trenches, Michael. We're in the trenches today.
We are in the trenches.
God, this is hot. I'm going to have to take this off.
Iain,
so introduce what we're doing.
We're having a discussion entitled In the Trenches, and we have not spoken to each other in quite a while.
We have not spoken in quite a while.
How's it going, Stevie?
So how's it going? Well, I think it's quite a long time since we spoke, and yes. I think in the channel I've been doing a mixture of, showing records, but also developing my video making skills with stories like the Quadrophenia Room, and also did that John Bellamy thread that was quite well received. And then trying to get that kind of editing down. Recently, because I hadn't done any competitions or threads, I decided to do a couple of threads, but sort of they were a bit of a challenge.
You have a little bit of static on your microphone. If there's any way you can adjust it.
I don't think I can.
A bit of a clicky clacky.
I don't know how to adjust it. We'll have to carry on.
Yeah, just have to carry on.
Sorry. We've got Iain there. We've got Iain in the. Is he finding the clicky clacky?
Iain, do you hear clicky clacky on Steven's
how's the mic? How's the mic for you, Iain?
Please tell us in the comments. I'll tell you something, Stevie.
He's saying I do. He's saying I do hear.
Yes.
If I unplug it and plug it in again, maybe that'll do. Let's go with that. Is that any better?
Say something more, please.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
It's your voice is a little bit lower, but we still have some clicky clacky.
Right.
Hey, Richard. Richard Cook is here.
I'm at the mercy of this microphone, Michael.
And let's just soldier on, like the good soldiers we are.
Soldier on, yeah. But hopefully it'll get better.
So I can really tell that you've really been diving into experimentation on your latest videos. It really shows editing chops.
Thank you.
Really getting good. I love that what you did with Sexy Beast, and me too.
The timing. I mean, every video I do, Michael, is a bit of an experiment.
Yes.
So with that one, that was quite a challenge, sort of responding to the clip. But if you notice, I was listening to the clip in my ears, so that then I could edit that in later. But it was still quite difficult. But what I've noticed is that however skilled you are, however good that is, it doesn't necessarily translate automatically into views. You know what I mean? It's entertaining for those that watch it, and thank you for watching it. But it doesn't necessarily translate. And then you can do like a car boot video cobbled together in a quarter of an hour. and that will get 300 odd views. So so that's it. And I've been enjoying the shorts as well. I had a lot of success with the shorts, and my sub count has kind of crept up a bit. But I think that might have affected the views on the videos. I don't know, because that doesn't necessarily translate into views. So the subs for the videos, I'm still kind of like quite low, and I think your kind of watch time is quite high in that regard. But yeah, the shorts are coming on. I'm having good fun kind of editing those, and I'm keeping those going because it keeps a little momentum going, gets eyes on the channel. And so that's not it's not too bad. Things are going well, and I'm just going to put on a video today, sort of saying 1,000K subs. Thank you. I know it's probably been too fast for for what my channel can cope with, but I thought I'd say thank you anyway. And launch a thread as well. I should say I've got quite a soppy thread to launch today.
Oh, you're going to start a thread?
Well, I don't know. Threads are sort of something that's supposed to naturally take off, where somebody else sees something somebody's done and they take it on, and then it becomes a thread. I don't think you can insist on a thread. But yes, but I've got quite a good subject for a thread, and I think people like Mike's Vinyl Spiral will like that thread. Maybe you will. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see if it takes off. If I get 1 or 2 people, that's it. That's enough.
Somebody found the time not to be at a car boot sale today and is joining us, and that is
great. This is history. This is history in the making, because we're more popular than a car boot for one of the most famous car booters in the vinyl community. That is amazing. So the shorts. I don't know if you've seen recently. I sort of separated some cams from a video and put those all together, because I thought, this would make quite a challenge. So yeah, the challenges keep coming, and I think I'm coming up to higher basic editing skills now.
You're like the Stanley Kubrick of the world.
I don't
know. 4 separate cameras on a postage stamp short. And you've definitely, well, look.
Well, I've probably made history. The first one is probably the only silent short that's actually done pretty well. So I made silence. It's not Simon and Garfunkel. It was actual silence, where they're coming on the stage and Moon just rolls over. I thought, yeah, what the hell? I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I'll just stick it on. And people liked it. And sorry, carry on.
Oh, people are mingling. They're mingling.
Yeah,
we got they're in the
We got a bunch.
You do. But enough of that. I'd love to talk about.
How about you? How's it going with you?
I'd love to talk about you some more, but let's talk about me.
You're always telling me off. It's not about you.
I moved, Stevie. I moved.
You moved from the rural countryside to Tokyo, and now you've got all those record shops.
Unbelievable. Do you know that in Shinjuku alone, there's 30 record stores? 30.
Wow.
At one train station, 30. Okay. So I definitely got my work cut out for me. And there's 150 in Tokyo alone.
Yeah. I mean, in Devon, you've got Exeter, 2 cities, Exeter and Plymouth, essentially. In Exeter, I think there's a couple, and there's 1 in Plymouth. There are a couple more, but they're kind of like dealers. So proper shop. And these are small shops. So literally nothing, just the charity shops I rebound and maybe get in the car and go to. But you're kind of like at the epicenter. I mean, that's even better than like London or any other major city. It's like an epicenter, isn't it? And that's just Shinjuku.
Just Shinjuku. And so, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the area, and I'm just going to stroll the area and do a video just about a bunch of stores there. And recently I've been going on other people's live streams. Did you know that?
I saw you on Michael 45s, and you're being very well received, and they were very interested in your grading video. But that's the kind of video that you can do now and nobody else has access to. So you're providing like an area of interest, and like audiophiles, I should imagine. I looked at that video; it's got very good views. You know,
Yeah.
people seeing how it's done. I mean, you could almost split that video into like 3 or 4 videos.
Yep. Yep.
With all the different rating system, and you did it without having a ladder behind you as well, appearing on Michael's.
No ladder.
No ladder.
No whatsoever. Yeah.
And you also, you know, you're a busy man, and you had a moderately successful live stream going on. You had a celebrity come on when he was abroad, but you Dan and Body, you've axed them in the back like some sort of massive traitor. It's like you've snuck up behind them with an axe and just wham. Your most popular Michael, get control of the live stream.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us why, Michael. That was very sad.
Well, it was
No dead air. Come on. No, you're too busy. Is that the case?
I'm too much busy. Yes. No dead air.
And you had feedback. People had enough of slide guitar and Hank Williams.
Yes.
And Bobby was very busy with his commitments.
Bobby's so busy, and Dan's busy. Just everybody's too busy. So
yeah.
So all right. So we did our catching up there. Okay. And guess what? It's been 1 year since I've started doing this YouTube thing. Did you know that? And I think
and for me as well, if you count the fact that we had to go to America for family issues for 3 weeks, and also then we had to go to like an anniversary funeral meeting ceremony. To have to go to abroad, and that was another 4 weeks. So actually, my anniversary is more or less now September, I think. So what have been your observations then, being having a channel for a year?
Well, you make a lot of videos that people don't watch. You do a lot of challenges that people don't rise to the task and do. You enter challenges, and sometimes the host doesn't thank you for creating a video.
That's the thing with you, isn't it? They don't have to instantly rush over you, Michael. It's not about you. Get control. Let's be a bit more positive, because I think you come here, you start a channel, and you're a bit naive with sort of interactions, and then you sort of get your eye in with interactions, and kind of a lot of newer channels have used that sort of doing the competitions, doing the threads, and just meeting people that way, which is a very good way, I think, to get the kind of core subs for that, which is the core of the vinyl community. But yeah, I mean, you and me have spoken before about the hobby of getting my aspiration has always been very humble, just the one hobby, getting the collection together, getting it how I want, cleaning it and storing it and playing it. And then the YouTube hobby, which is perhaps a sort of more kind of opening a can of worms. So we've opened a can of worms this year. We've got an editor, we've got into the editing, and now we're having a stab at some stories and some sort of different stuff. And both of us actually have embraced kind of trying to be a bit creative with the shorts. Making shorts that actually we'd like to see, rather than
in a microwave oven.
By sticking it in the microwave. Don't put CDs in the microwave.
Yes.
But no, you look at other people. Some people have done very good ones, and some people it seems a little bit run of the mill. I don't know. But yeah, it's a good way to get eyes on the channel. But sort of, how have you found the interactions? With your channel?
What do you mean by interactions?
Because you're in a very different time zone, a difficult time zone to post for UK or America. YouTube, knows you're in Japan, so it kind of gears maybe into Japan. Whereas me, I've kind of got the times which are best to release shorts and best to stick a video on, although it doesn't actually matter that much. Particularly for videos, I've found You know, it used to be 3 or 4 days you get most views, but now it's like a week or 10 days. So if you want to do a video weekly, maybe you've got to leave it a bit more, pick up the views, let it sink in a bit. I don't know. But for you, Michael, how have you found that?
There's no way, you know, the Mr. Algorithm is not a friend of mine. Okay?
No.
There is absolutely no rhyme or reason. In fact, I really am finding that I'm not going to stop paying attention to that little graph about when your audience is online, because it really seems to be meaningless.
Yeah.
It just really doesn't really make a difference whatsoever. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason.
I've been able to play it a bit straighter, a bit with a straighter back, because it tells me that I've got quite a few a bit of audience in America, particularly for the shorts. So I tend to get a spike, you know, when they're coming on. So I get views sort of the evening of UK, and then it'll peter off, and then they'll come in the next day. But also at night time, that's when the Americans are coming home, or they're looking at their computer in the afternoon. So I tend to get a little bit of a spike. I mean, again, my views are not that great on the videos, but certainly with the shorts, you can see a spike.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to follow, you know, and trying to get a bit of momentum, but also just trying to do what we do. I mean, the bottom line is, for me, I'm just having fun and doing what I want to do.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not chasing the dragon, because ultimately, I don't think we're not getting monetized here, and YouTube has just shift the goalposts, make it harder and harder and harder. And I think you, Michael, with your videos about Japanese shops, Japanese vinyl, people are going to watch those videos longer. You could get monetized, but maybe you're not going to earn a lot. Who knows? Unless you get a good momentum. They're not online, Rob. They're not online. My 89-year-old mother said, "Oh, what's that? What's this emoji?"
Look,
she hasn't got the internet. I'm sorry.
Probably, you know, and I hate to say this, but I'm probably moving towards a more programmatic thing. I mean, doing this Tower Records video, you know, I mean, look, how many creative videos can you make on a record store? So I need to be careful.
Yeah.
You know. And that's what I'm thinking about these days.
I think it's always good for me to come back to earth and do, because my most successful videos early on, we're talking like 100 views, 200 views, were sort of deal or no deal, what have I bought this month kind of thing.
Right.
But I had a plan of like top tens and all that. It's completely gone out the window now.
Yeah.
So I don't even make a plan. I just decide what video I'd like to do next and kind of do that. So I've still got, you know, the odd thing in the mind to do, but it's really what I feel like doing at the time. So I don't think now beyond the next video. I did have a plan of playlists and the next 10 videos, but now I don't even think about it, because there's no point, because things are kind of moving so fast.
Right.
Like even ranking videos, when I started the channel, those are really popular, and I thought I'll do a ranking video on The Who. By the time I got around to do it and had a few skills to do it, nobody's interested. No, you know, even though it's the best ranking, you know, I mean, honestly, I'd scratch my own back. You know, I've done some good videos. I've come up with some very good shorts, very popular shorts. I've made the best ranking video system in the entire vinyl community, and nobody noticed. So I'll have to tell them about that. So we're innovators, Michael. You know,
we are.
We're innovators, but we've got our feet on the ground. But no illusions after a year about YouTube. You know, not really. I think helping us that much.
No. So
that's the anniversary. What other observations have you had, apart from, you know, the algorithm not being your friend, the timing not being your friend?
Well, you know, I guess my observation is that this thing has moved from making videos to live streams, and you know, it's just an odd way of spending your day. And I'm not really, apart from Iain's and doing this with you, I've kind of taken myself away. I watch live streams from time to time, but I'm not active on them, and I don't see them as a core medium YouTube.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Michael? I mean, just another observation's come into my head. When I did, because in my next video, what I'm going to do, I'm doing a shout out. I'm doing a video that's 10 or 11 minutes long, and then I've got 10 minutes where I'm just saying thank you to the channels that are stop laughing, interacting with us. So those channels that have interacted with me and people that have supported the channel with comments and views, I'm saying thank you to them. But you know what? Because YouTube presented us at the start with this view of like, this channel is popular, this channel is popular, this channel is popular. I'm actually a bit embarrassed, Michael. I'll make a confession. I'll say this now. In my video, I make an apology. All right, and I'm just put a section apology. I'm actually embarrassed. When I did my 100 subs thank you video, I did recommend some channels. Half of those channels I wouldn't recommend anymore. You know, and I actually feel a bit embarrassed about it because I've recommended channels that actually well, I say in the video 10 I still would recommend. There's 20 I think I recommended. 3 have kind of abandoned their channels, or they've abandoned humor. There's 3 that are kind of big channels that I just don't watch because they're not they're not, you know, they're not giving me content that actually interests me. It's just the same old, same old. And then there's a couple who, you know, the live stream is descended into the gutter, and a couple of people that support that and have gone with it. And you know what? No way would I recommend them. In fact, after, you know, in the next few days, I'm going to be going through subs and just cleaning up a bit. Because when you come on to YouTube, you think, oh, that's quite a nice video on MiFi. I'll sub that person. Well, guess what? That person has never interacted with me. They've never watched my videos. I've looked at their other videos. They're crap. They can't make, they've got appalling taste in music, you know, appalling political views or whatever. They just don't look like a very, you know, interesting person for me. So why am I subscribed to them, you know? Normally, I think people would subscribe other vinyl community channels just to support each other. But I'm a little bit embarrassed. It's not my fault. YouTube presenting me or presenting the newcomer with different channels, saying, hey, here's a popular channel. It's doing well, so it gives impressions, gets more popular. But actually, that's not the case. It's not for me personally. You know, there's a lot that I do like, and I'm saying thank you to everybody I like and everybody I've interacted with. So it's like a proper thank you now that I've got my eye in, and I think that's quite an important point to make. And I know you've had a bit of a. I mean, you say about live streams.
Yes.
You know, live streams are very good. You know, I've seen some good ones. They're fun. And you know, it's nice to see people interacting in a genuine, wholesome way.
Yes.
But some of the people involved, they spend their life on live streams. They don't have much to say. They don't really give a toss about other people or other channels. They purport to sort of support channels, but they really don't. Right. You know, so and a lot of these people, they can't make a video really to save their life. The channel content is zero. They're very lazy and think, oh, I'll enter a competition. I'll just go live and blah, blah, blah. That's not a competition entry. That's not a video, you know. So where they think, oh, I can kind of establish myself. I'll do the live stream or do a regular live stream or just go on live streams every day. You know, and that's that. I don't actually think you're making a contribution to the vinyl community.
No,
because what is your contribution? Your contribution is just babbling and you know, criticizing other people a lot of the time.
Right.
So so a lot of these people, I see them as kind of interlopers in the vinyl community. They're not actually core vinyl community. They're just on crappy live streams.
Yep.
Well, and there are some good ones, I have to say. So what do you want to talk about now?
Well, you know, I mean, I think we're starting to get there. I mean, you know, we're just getting our eye onto what's going on. I mean, we both agree there's some negative stuff going on in this vinyl community world, right? And we touched on live streams. There's a lot of there's a certain amount of bullying that's taking place, and a certain amount of tribalism that's taking place. A bit of a us versus them
I
mentality.
I think there's a tendency that you can have a good wholesome live streams, and we'll talk about the positive, where you've got people talking about the music. Yeah, they're having a bit of banter. That it's all very friendly and it's enjoyable to watch. Like Iain, he's online. He's a UK live stream. It's quintessentially UK kind of orientated. I wonder what Americans must think of it sometimes,
Right.
But
Right.
it has an identity, and for those people that watch it, I think they kind of would enjoy it, and they're getting something out of it. But it is we've got our eye in, and I think when you get your eye in, you can see now the difference between what's good and what's bad, what's wholesome and what's not so wholesome.
Yeah.
You've got it seems to be where egos can go. There's a lot of arrogance sometimes, insecurity, like you say, bullying, and the tribalism. I've noticed this tribalism. It's kind of like sometimes it's us and them, and it's like hang on, what are you doing? You're building a group that is kind of like an army unit, and if you're not with us, you're against us, and if you're against us, you're the enemy, and then you must be criticized. Surely that is not part of any live stream. That's not vinyl community, so to speak.
It's
not at all.
I
mean, I know you're going to get around to this one live stream because you've had a problem with one live stream, and I think it's I watched a live stream. I think it's a podcast by Chance, Concert Buddy.
Yep.
And he was talking to vinyl chef Steve.
Yep, I saw it.
And they were talking about unity in the vinyl community and those kind of negative things and how that negativity has impacted them. And I thought that was an interesting discussion. So, I mean, we could kind of follow on from there. I mean, I don't want to focus on any particular one live stream too much, if you know what I mean.
I agree.
But there is that one that has, I've noticed over the last 8 or 9 months, it's just gone down and down and down, descended, and there's this whole section now, parody videos, and quite a lot of animosity, and it's us and them. I think the one I'm talking about, and I just wondered, because my experience, I said hello. I went on it a couple of times. My channel was mentioned, so I went on to say thank you, and then went on to be ignored. And then one time, because I'd had a conversation with you, Michael.
Yes.
I remember saying, this sounds so bizarre, but I went in the chat and said, "Good afternoon, folks." And then I was like criticizing. Oh, is he going to apologize for talking to so and so? And I was like, what are you talking about? What's happening here? And I didn't realize that you had a rift with one of the guys on the panel of this other stream.
Yes.
And it had gone quite deep. And I was thinking, and then it was all like rice paddies and all of this nonsense. And I thought, hang on a minute. I actually approached you, Michael, because we had I saw your introductory video. Mm-hmm. We had a similarity of our gap in music. So I thought that would be, after being ignored because somebody supposedly more important came on that live stream, I thought actually it would be good to have a discussion where we could actually listen to each other on one-to-one, Yes. And I found that was quite good. So we did 3 of those. Yes. But then I thought, I don't have to justify myself to you. I'll talk to whoever I want to talk about. Just because you have a problem with somebody else, don't project that onto me. I don't answer to you. And then I think it was this same guy that you had a problem with. I logged onto that stream, and he was just at that moment, he was having a real go at somebody for literally no reason at all. And I thought, I've had enough of this. Then a couple of days later, I logged on again, and the exact same thing was happening. There was this big row because somebody had said a word wrong or something. And I thought, gee, this is just so insecure. It's ridiculous, and then having sort of there were a couple of incidents, Michael, that the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I think this is the guy you had a problem with. And there were a couple of incidents where I thought, that made me quite suspicious about this particular stream.
Yes.
There was one where, and I'll hold my hands up here. It was very funny. There was a young guy. I won't say his channel name. I'll just say Sound Lab, and I think
Yep.
people might know who I'm talking about. He comes on. He's having a problem with the echo on his computer, and he's trying to respond to the delay rather than the actual stream itself. He's got it coming through his speakers like 2 or 3 seconds later, and it's kind of quite funny. But it turned out a little bit embarrassing for him. So it was funny at the time, and then afterwards, I thought he had a killer Beatles collection, which actually shut them up. But then I went and looked on his channel, and I saw his intro video, and I thought, this is just a young kid,
Right.
and this is the young kid we should be trying to support in the vinyl community, not having a good laugh at. And Michael, sure enough. So I gave him a bit of support, said, I see you do live streams. I'd like to come on. I like your channel. He was talking a bit about The Who, and I've subscribed to you. But sure enough, Michael, a few days later, there was a video. I'm not going to be making as many videos as I was, and this is just a young kid. And I thought this could affect, it was very embarrassing for him at the time. And I thought this could really affect somebody if we're not careful, It
was demotivating. He was completely demotivated.
He had a very embarrassing experience, something that was, technical, that was out of his control. Right. And you could tell it must have really quite hit home. And, some kids, if they had a mental health issue or something like that, that could really hit home and hit hard. But so I thought, well, I'm not really too keen on this live stream. And then I logged on again, and the most bizarre incident. Now, this was a really disgusting incident. And I won't say the name of the channel. This was a guy, I'll just say Scotty.
Yeah.
All right, you know who I'm talking about.
No,
and again, I logged on, and there were people in the chat who said, I think so-and-so's having a big meltdown, right? Now, what I think had happened, I don't know the backstory here, but he was like into doing karaoke and singing on video, and he was contributing to that stream, and he was a very popular guy. And then I think something like he made a video and he was doing a premiere and he wanted it mentioned. He didn't get it mentioned. He felt slighted, and I've got to be careful here. The guy, I think, had sort of mental health sensitivities. So what happens is he just has a full rant, and he's having, somebody put the link up, and I looked at it, and he was actually having a real mental health episode, like a genuine sort of rage, panic, a mental health episode, really quite horrible to see. And yet there's people in the chat who say, hey, go over that, like that bald fat chump in a certain record store in Arizona. I saw him in the chat saying, hey, so-and-so's having a mental health, go and have a look, that sort of comment. And other comments, oh yeah, he's having a real meltdown. And then the chair is saying, oh yeah, so-and-so's having a meltdown. Nobody is saying, I'm sorry to say so-and-so is not very well at the moment. Please don't look at that. Right. So this guy's having a full mental health episode. People are having a laugh at it. And I just thought this is really, really quite disgusting, And then what happens is the chair, instead of supporting him, saying, look, please don't do that. I'm sure he'll delete the video. Please don't copy it or anything like that. Don't copy the link. Just don't look. What the chair does is throw that person completely. He said a few things, throws that person under the bus. It's like, you contributed to the live stream. That means nothing. You're done. You're under the bus. And I thought that. And then outs previous kind of mental health abuse issues, very, very private issues, very sensitive private, and just says it live on air. Oh, so-and-so had this in the past, Really, really disgusting, Michael. And that really did it for me. I thought, you're done. This live stream, forget it. I'm not watching this crap anymore. I thought that was really disgusting. You saw the incident as well?
I did see the incident, and I actually reached out to the fellow and have gotten to know him. And I'll be honest with you. I am a bit of a coalition builder, and I'm definitely active on other channels where there's a contrary view to what's going on. And
I mean, there seems to be now. I mean, okay, I won't mention the channel, but a certain German gentleman, if I say M45,
right,
you know, there's this if I've logged, there's this constant rift where they seem to be like devoting a percentage of the channel. I watched it. I clicked on it by accident actually, and they must have spent like 10, 20, 30% of the time slagging people off. About 20% of that particular stream was slagging this German guy M45. Just slag it. You know, it's like you can't. You're not concentrating on your own subject or your own stream. You're actually devoting your stream to slagging off another stream because there's a constant riff. You know, that person can do with their stream and their account what the hell they like. It's none of your goddamn business. But
right.
there's this constant riff with this person, and with you as well, Michael.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I know we've got somebody in
the gallery.
The chat, so we better not mention. But I know you've had a run-in with this guy, and you think, you know, I think it's the three of them.
Yeah.
You have had a bad history with one of them, but that guy, you know, we won't. Let's not even say the name of the person because I don't want to do an embarrass him. But there was this kind of family insult where he said, "You're vicariously living through family member." I saw that as well, and that was pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
That was pretty disgusting. So that person is very aggrieved, wants an apology, and then the panel member, the kind of insecure one, then doubles down, goes into somebody's private Instagram account, retrieves a photo of a family member, and then flashes that on screen. I mean, that just caused complete outrage.
Right.
What did you know? I mean, the one I saw before was beyond the pale, but that was just otherworldly. You know, other and you know, I would say probably in the UK it's probably illegal
to show a family member's.
well in UK law. If that person, I don't want to dwell on it because they were very upset and affected by it. So, but I think, you know, if we're talking about behaviors and different negative behaviors on stream, you know, to do something bad and then double down, do something even worse, like 10 times worse.
Right.
You know, if you go into somebody's private data and then you make that data public, that's a breach of the Data Protection Act. Now, if that person, say, had needed counselling or something, then you've got a legal issue there because you know, even if it doesn't make a criminal court, you've got a civil claim there because you say, well, you pay for my counselling and you pay for the court costs and everything else, you know. And yeah, creepy. I see you know, yeah. And our friend Iain there goes on and shows his disgust. I saw that.
Yes.
Just says what, you know, says what he says about, you know, this is toxic, you're toxic, this is toxic live stream. Ian's made a great contribution to that stream as well, then gets totally thrown under the bus. So we're seeing this throwing under the bus, using people up, letting people contribute. There's some kind of rift or something you don't like, they get thrown under the bus, like they're treating people like they're fodder, you know. Like they're not contributors to the live stream, they're fodder to be used up and spat out. I mean, that is really disgusting as well. And if I say, I mean, I hope you don't mind me, Michael, because this, I'll just get this off my chest right now.
Yeah.
Because when I was kind of pilloried saying, you know, oh, are you going to apologise for speaking to rice fields? You know, it's like, you know, are you kidding me? And then there's all this rice paddies stuff,
right? Which
turns into rice patties, as if it's like a cow pat, you know, a cow pat, we call it.
Yeah.
And so the behavior here, we're talking about negative behaviors. So I don't mind. I hope you don't mind me talking to your face. Yeah, if I've got to talk to you, I'll say it to your face. Okay. So the behavior is you've had a bit of a rift. So what they do, they create this negative caricature.
Yes.
Of rice paddies or going over to the rice paddies. They create that. The chair creates it. okay, and then gives that to the little gallery of sycophants who've got nothing else better to do. They then type it, and then the chair flashes it up on screen, repeats it again. So you've got this circle, this rather nasty circle of rice paddies. And the last show I think I watched fully on that, I just had it on in the background. I swear to you, Michael, rice paddies, they were having a real go at you. And it was mentioned about 200, if not 250 times. And I thought, you are in real trouble here. You are really quite sick if you think that is something to do. That's something positive, or that's part of a positive live stream. I mean, Michael, you know, you must, I know you're a New Yorker and you're quite streetwise, and you got thick skin.
Yes.
But when you're doing that, and it's kind of like this Machiavellianism, this is not ego, this is narcissism. And when you're doing that, that literally is a kind of psychopathy.
Yes.
And you must, and we're not talking days here. We're not saying, oh, that's a bit of banter over a couple of days, or at the end of the week. This is weeks, this is months of this shit. And you must have been a little bit I mean, you've had a very stressful time, because it's a very stressful time when you're moving house. Sure. Okay, so you've got a lot on your plate, and then you've got this stupid niggle of this narcissistic psychopathy going on what is supposed to be a vinyl community live stream, but actually it's just a shitty live stream. Let's call it what it is, with three saddos, these three goons doing this, slagging off other people, and you're a common favorite. I mean, you must have felt a bit kind of strange having that going on in the background while you're going through a stressful time as well. And as you say, this is going on for weeks and months.
It's fascinating. I got creative. I made a lot of videos. I focused on my channel. And what I found interesting was the genesis, or the development of these people coming in, these peanuts, these people with no channels, no subscribers, no videos. And they come in and they're like babes in the woods. And in 90 days, they're like, they're fully weaponized, fully toxic,
brainwashed with toxicity. And this is the thing you're saying about live streams, is the negative side of them. It also attracts the negative. So people that they can't make a video to save their life, they don't want to make a contribution, they'll say everything opposite, like, oh, I support other channels, but they don't. They then use people up because they've got nothing, because they've got no talent. They're not making a video. They're not trying to, present a decent bit of music or have a decent discussion talking about vinyl, really. So they can't make a video to save their lives. They have to get the power, their lives, they feel powerless. So their way of getting power is, we'll get control over a live stream. We'll get controversy. We'll have control over it. This is really quite a Machiavellian, narcissistic, like, psychopathy that we're dealing with. And so it's a way of getting control. And also in the peanut gallery, they're similar people. They're powerless people, probably tapping away in their little basement, no identity, no nothing, no contribution to what they're taking part in. But their only contribution is helping other people slag off other people, because they're disempowered. They haven't got control in their life. They haven't got much of a personality, and it's this disenfranchised self-hatred that they think that's being controlled by this psychopathy and then there's three of them. You see, this is why I disagree with you, Michael. You have a problem with this guy. Look, I'm not hating on them. I'm not hating on anybody. That guy that you have a problem with, he's just insecure. He snaps at people in a very insecure way. He could do with a bit of counseling. I've actually done counseling. I've got a certificate in counseling skills. And if you go to the next level, the diploma, you have to have had counseling yourself. Now, back when I was at 3 different universities, that was quite easy because it's free. Yeah. And I had a couple of counselors. I didn't have much to bring to the table because I didn't have that many problems. But I did find a counsellor. Said, I'm doing this for my next qualification. Yeah, that's fine. But it's actually very helpful. If you find somebody you gel with, it can be very beneficial. So I just say to that person, go and get some counselling. You've got an issue here. Go and get some counselling. There's the other one, the hat wearing one, which I know is a favourite of yours. Who's the excuser? I mean, let's talk about the roles here. You've got the excuser, the apologist, the hat wearing apologist, who thinks it's cool and trendy to just sit there while abuse is going on.
Well, his presence adds gravitas to this behavior. You see, it's kind of like, it's like a cover. His presence legitimizes the activity that's taking place.
And if I may say so, I'd say I'm not hating on that guy, but his channel grew at a time when the algorithm was rewarding you. Fair play, you've done your videos, you've got popular, but then the algorithm keeps chucking impressions out there. Like I said at the start, I recommended that guy because I thought it was a big channel and I thought it was popular. I didn't realize the guy himself was a kind of enormous personality vacuum that the only way he can get power is doing the same video over and over again, copying a couple of your videos and then sitting on live streams laughing and pretending abuse is cool, so these people are not necessarily nice people. They're not necessarily interesting people, and I'm not having a go. Maybe try doing a different type of video, or getting some better friends or whatever. I don't know. So you've got the excuser who, like you there, is there to add authenticity. You've got the attack dog, the insecure attack dog who's got an issue, and then you've got the chair that is pulling the strings. Let me say, and this is where we differ, Michael, because all of that behavior is the responsibility of whatever chair is doing whatever live stream. So if you've got negatives stuff going on, that's your responsibility. That's you. But if you're creating that, if you see your job as gaining power by creating controversy, slagging off other people, throwing people under the bus who may have mental health sensitivities or not, you don't know. One day that's going to backfire very, very big. So it's actually the chair, that's pulling the strings. And, what really galls me about that, if you're lecturing people on passive aggressive bullying, right, and you're the biggest passive aggressive bully in that community by, times 10, times 100. And then you're sort of retreating, hiding behind some identity victimization or victimhood, as a cloak for your Machiavellian psychopathy. So that three combination is I see that as a negative combination. I'm not telling people what to do, what to watch. You watch it if you want. You waste your time. But I'm just saying that that's a really negative combination that just seems to spawn more negative, and it's just got negative. Whereas other streams now, I think, are coming up that are focusing on the positive.
Yes.
But would you agree with me that there's the roles there? I mean, I don't watch that stream anymore. I don't really give a talk. This isn't an attack video, Michael. This isn't a boycott. This isn't about you. This is us discussing things in general. You're not important. I don't watch you. You're not important. You're a crappy live stream that's gone wrong. Okay. And I think people are waking up to that. Okay, you get new people in that think it's a good laugh, but they don't seem to last very long. They either get bored or thrown under the bus. You know what I mean? But that one has broken YouTube rules probably so many times. And, Michael, we're talking about, anniversaries and first impression, getting your eye in. And I'm sitting there, I'm wondering, am I the only person seeing this? And then, of course, lots of other people have seen it.
And so we have the emergence of these guys. They've seen it.
Yeah. So I think you've got a shift now, people saying, hang on a minute, if this is a vinyl community, we want decent standards of conduct. You make a mistake ranting somebody, you take a week off, you take a month off, you're not coming on for a month, or something like that. But where you've got somebody orchestrate who is so Machiavellian, orchestrating negativity, and it might be okay for a shock jock on a radio station to sort of hype things up as dramas and it's entertaining, but you don't automatically do it and then do really serious negative stuff and then throw people under the bus. And because one of these days somebody's going to have a breakdown or somebody's going to sue you for their counselling. I mean, you know, I mean, talking about the law, you know, if you go into in UK law, if you reveal somebody's private data online,
Right.
That's a breach of the Data Protection Act. And if there's a cost associated to that, there can be a court case.
Right.
If you come on, like we're talking about Iain's live stream, if you come on Iain's live stream and you take a massive dump on it in a rant, okay, and then you say Asian, blah, 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 we actually have hate crime legislation in this country. You know, so if an Asian person says, I'm highly offended by this, they make a complaint to the police. Guess whose door they're knocking on? They're knocking on Iain's door. You know, I mean, if somebody did that to me, revealed a family member and put it online, I'd be ringing their doorbell with the end of a hammer. You know. So, but I think you, Michael, you've got kind of an association with these parody channels that have come up as well. So, and I think we have a difference of an opinion on that as well.
I think we do. You know, I'll be honest, look, Stevie, I do communicate with this channel in various ways, and you probably think it's not a good thing. You know, maybe you don't agree that I do it. I keep a hand in it, but I think that it's interesting that I do watch these live streams, and from time to time I do comment about some of the things that I see there, and I do find that people, I do find agreement from others in what I'm talking about, and some of those groups of people are these parody channels, what you call them, and they're really creative people, and they have very strong beliefs, and they're principled, and they watch as well, and they're very creative guys, and they make videos that show the hypocrisy that we're talking about in very funny and in very biting ways. And what I find very interesting is that the stream jokes about them, that their channels are puny and they don't get a lot of views. Well, sometimes they get 1,000 views, and I'll tell you, each one of those views is like a qualified lead in Glenn Ross. They are so qualified. They're peers, and they're the friends, and they're the people who are involved with what's been taking place. So I just think that they're fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would disagree with it, and I'm not having the parody channels either. Yeah. But I think because I've said to you, if you put comments on there, you don't win with the narcissist. You don't win. You don't with somebody that's prepared to indulge elements of psychopathy in their drama manipulation. You never win with the narcissist until the narcissist wakes up to what they are. And as I say, I'm not hating on any channels, but if you have somebody that needs a bit of counselling, then they're not going to be if you hype up. If what I'm saying is if you're providing another side whereby you're attacking, that person is attacking people, but then you're attacking them, albeit via parody. I think it's fine to show things and record things and say, look, this is a horrible event, but I do wonder what good comes of it. When the solution is that person might need a little bit of counselling and a bit of positive support, trying to heal the situation. I don't see a lot of healing. I mean, I've seen a couple of the parody ones, and I don't think Marius would mind me mentioning him. I mean, he's a brilliant editor. I've seen a couple of his videos, and I just kind of wonder. I want to sort of comment and say, Marius, this is a funny parody. But what about the video that you'd really want to make about a group or a band, or he's making some great. I watched a video of his where he was doing like a needle drop. Yeah. And he was showing the tech in the mic and involved in just putting the type of mic and how to record it. And I thought, oh, this is something I'm interested in. And he records the sound coming out the speaker through a mic, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. And I thought, well, Marius, this is the sort of video that you are destined for. You're really brilliant at this, and he's brilliant at the editing on the parody, but I think the parody can go too far. I mean, I think the other one that you mentioned was Davey Strangeley. again, it's quite funny, but I think like a satanic ritual. Talking about that stream, like satanic ritual is perhaps going a bit far. And of course, you're playing into that drama a little bit. And that guy's got good editing chops. He's got very good skills. So
Yes.
how about he makes a video that he really wants? You know, like if he made a video about the Beatles or something like that. But so I think there's a propensity to think, okay, I'm gonna do a parody here. But I think it's kind of like sometimes a negative after a negative. You know, it can be fun and a good laugh, but you know, if there's let's say if there's a sort of tribal thing with and that stream is saying, oh, M45's got another tribe, and then you have a parody about these two tribes. Well, you're kind of you're making a parody about tribalism, but you're also taking part in the tribalism. You know, so I would say to those guys, you've got some great videos, guys. You've got some great skills, but maybe what we want to be doing is moving forward. And I think, sorry, I didn't mean to sort of get into that one stream, because I don't want that one stream to think it's important or it's about them. It's a attack video. It isn't, right? It's not about you. It's about negativity. Yeah, so positive things. I think we should be moving forward. And I think now we're seeing streams, I think, which are focusing on the positive, where you know, I've seen streams where people are having a good chat. There's a good banter. There's a lot of friendliness. They're actually showing records and talking about records rather than drama that doesn't exist or negativity. Also, what have I seen? I've seen a lot in the UK. I've seen a lot of VCLT going on in the videos. Yeah. People being very generous to each other. You know, and that is a genuine VCLT. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say the negative VCLT.
I want to see more British panels. I want to see more British live streams. There's just not enough of them. You know, we need people to step up and do them. You know.
Yeah, I'd like to see a couple of UK channels, but you know, and just talking about that VCLT point, you know, it's very heartening to, because people make videos saying, you know, I just bowled over. You've sent me this. This is a great present. It's like watching Christmas over and over again. Some of these videos, I think you know, the Vinyl Policeman is a big kind of Bruce Springsteen fan. He sent a load of stuff out, so good on him. And that's very genuine. I think you've said before about people kind of sending people stuff to kind of pay fealty to them or gain entry. You know, that's the negative side of it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And they're kind of like paying a toll fee.
Like a tax.
I want to be popular, so I'm sending you this. And you sent me that, so then I'm popular. And so-and-so has a great personality because he sent me this. So he has a great personality. So I must have a great person because I'm sending him in this, you know. And it's all a bit, that's the sort of the higher money side of it that I find quite distasteful. Whereas genuine VCLT, I think, is really quite super.
You know, it's, you know, these were like traditions, early traditions, and they've just kind of gotten Frankenstein. And I think a gentleman in the gallery here will agree with that, because he's a big proponent talking about this. You know, I wasn't around 2.5 years ago when this whole vinyl community started. So these things start off innocently enough, and they kind of just morph into practices that were not necessarily planned for or intended. And I think that's your example about VCLT, you know.
Because I know you've commented in the past about, you know, the ladies as well. We need to encourage the ladies, but the ladies kind of they have like a kind of lady factor where the channel gets good support. But because you know, for no other element, let's put the cards on the table. There's a lot of sad, lonely men out there, sadly like us, in the collecting vinyl obsessively, and then they see a nice lady and they think, oh, I'll send her something, you know. But so, you know, it seems to be rather a lot of it, maybe too much that is tasteful, maybe, I don't know. And the channel seems to grow or get overblown. And like you say, about a couple of years ago, before the pandemic, I was watching music videos and started watching vinyl videos, buying more vinyl. And you know, I saw channels like say Michael 45 in Germany, I saw when his channel was still quite relatively small.
Yeah.
And he was going into the Einstein shop and genuine like a kid in a candy store, and a genuine enthusiasm. And then his channel just grew and grew and grew, because I think he's very easy to listen to, and people like his his style. And let's face it, he's got a lot of good records there as well.
Yeah.
But other channels, they've grown. The algorithm has promoted them, but there's kind of like the channel is writing checks that the host cannot cash, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean? Can you embellish on that?
Well, the channel has, they've done their work, and they've got good channels, and they've become popular, but the algorithm has favored the bigger channels and made them more popular than really the channel maybe should be. Maybe not. Maybe that's an unfair criticism. I don't know. But I just get that sense that there are certain channel hosts that can't actually do a video that would satisfy the size of the channel, and that's not their problem. I'm not having a go at them. I'm not mentioning any names, but that's a YouTube thing. That's a YouTube fault, and that's why I'm a little bit embarrassed, with my 100 sub recommendations, because I'd only actually recommend half of them. In truth, now I've got my eye in to what YouTube does.
I wonder if other people have the same view, and that is when you look at your stats and YouTube tells you what your audience is looking at. I have a feeling that everybody in the VC has a very similar view of channels. It's all the same channels, and I think that goes to your point that the algorithm is really keeping smaller channels, giving them a chance to grow, even regardless of the quality of their content.
It gives them a chance, but you need momentum to for the algorithm to all a video ever is in terms of popularity. Yes, you've got your core subscribers and sort of acquaintances and friends that will support you. You'll get those. Any more than that, it's all about, will YouTube give you the impressions for your video, so it basically puts it in front of people.
Yes.
Okay. Or in these shorts, and I've told you about this. I've cracked the algorithm twice with the shorts, because it's not too difficult to work out if you put your mind to it. If your short is shown in the shorts feed, if it meets certain criteria, it gets shown in the shorts feed, and then you can get a spike, and then it goes up. And it's the same kind of with channels. If you have that momentum, I mean, Rob actually makes a very good point there about has anybody ever got a positive message from? Sometimes I think people are focused on their channel, that they're just responding to the points on their channel. Are they reaching out? And like I said, I might have a bit of a pruning of some ones I've subbed to because they've never interacted with my channel. And on my next video, which I'm putting out today, I've got 10 minutes at the end. I'm just saying thank you. And I'm focusing on people that have interacted with me and I've interacted with them, and just saying thank you for interacting with my channel. But yeah, there's a lot of big names that haven't interacted with my channel and never will interact with my channel. Okay, they're busy with their channel. I get that. But I think to be community is about interacting with each other. And I'm holding my hands up. I'm bad at that as well. I quite often, I'll watch a video, I'll start typing something, get distracted, and I think, oh, I've watched a video now, I won't leave a comment. And if you're wondering, yes, I do watch, people that comment to me, I do watch your videos, and I do watch your videos because you've interacted with me. So I'm a bit bad at writing comments because I've been busy, very busy recently. But I think a bit more of that, if people slow down and have a bit more interaction with each other, that's really what it's about. I think that's where the beneficial, to know that what you're doing is appreciated, and to show other people that you're appreciating what they're doing. I think that's the key. And maybe I think today I've got that off my chest with that negativity, but there's a lot of that negativity in that one specific area. But I think there's a lot of positivity that we're seeing now in other areas, and people are moving more to positivity. I mean, that particular stream, I'll say now, it's just done. It's over for them. They don't know it, but they don't know it yet. They haven't realized they're carrying on, but it's over for them. They should just stop, take a year off to think about stuff, and let the newer vinyl community, you know, come through and stop slagging it off, because there's no place for that. There's no place for that. There's no place for that. And it will just stop that. Stop slagging off other people. I mean, the arrogance of saying, oh, could people have a bit of courtesy and not put their live stream on the same time as ours? You know, like, what's it got to do with you? You know, if another channel wants a live stream with its own followers and what, it's none of your goddamn business. Mind you, you know, shut up and mind your own business. Maybe you should provide positive things that make your live stream attractive, you know. And I hope our discussion is attractive to people today. I mean, if anybody wants to come up and have a discussion with it, we should.
I was just going to say that, and I'm
stick
going
the link
to.
in.
I'm going to stick the link in because I know that
Richard, that's not true. Richard McCook, that is not true. I love your channel. It's just a bit of banter. Richard does some very good videos. He does great competitions, and I've said thank you to Richard in my video. Richard, you're in my thank you section, Richard. So come on up, Rob. Come on up. I don't think we've got Harris Pilton today. I think he's got family commitments. But if anybody wants to come up, or other people want to come up, I can bump off. It's not about us. It's not about you, Michael. Get control of the live stream. It's control. Who do we hate today?
I think we covered it all. We
had a little like rough sketch. I'm sorry. I apologize if I went a bit over the top.
Oh my goodness!
Right. My goodness. It's the guy from Windsor.
Yeah. It's the Windsor man. I hate Windsor. It's.
Can I say this first? Can I say, Iain, welcome to our live stream.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, sorry, mine was cancelled on Thursday, but it all went a bit Pete Tong.
Is it your fingers okay? No. Oh,
both hands now.
Can you put them in the? Have you got a garage? Can you put them in the vice? Just.
Well, I pull them apart.
How much longer to stay up? I think we'll stay up another 30 minutes, Rob. What time is it there?
Just to let you two know, this phone, the battery's not so good. So if I just drop off, that'll be it for me. But I think it's okay at the moment.
Yeah, I what you've said, Stevie, today, absolutely spot on. Everything you've said. Like Michael, I've had a lot of stick. I even got stick on Thursday on a stream, even though I wasn't there.
I know.
Because someone put up about me not cancelling it, doing a good deed, and I had a ton of abuse. So I did go on actually the first time in ages and say, I'm still here. You know, and then they were making things up about Dave, which was absolutely disgraceful.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. And that was from the chair.
Yeah. And you know what, Iain, you don't win with these people.
No.
You shouldn't have actually bothered to make your effort.
That's it.
Yeah.
I am done. But
it is the way to view it. It is an insignificant. What it's done. They have delineated themselves. They've gone into the gutter. They've delineated themselves as a gutter channel, as a gutter live stream. So they're in the gutter, and that's where they've put themselves. So they're an insignificant, crappy live stream. Okay, it might get a lot of views. That doesn't matter. It's not central to the vinyl community. Your channel, your live stream is central to the vinyl community in the UK. You know. So your channel is actually a lot more important when you're doing your live stream. Richard, that's not true. That's not true. I love you, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to type it, but now I've got a link, I can say it. I prefer to have a very small viewing audience and people in the obscuring gallery of quality and contributing, and none of this bitchiness, and there's no hate for whoever comes in on the stream. I mean, you guys know it. There's no thing about American people being taking the mickey of the Brit. You see, on a certain stream, the British are not thought of. And there was a comment that the British don't make any contribution to this stream, which is a big lie. Mr. Walker,
and if we're talking about the other stream, it doesn't matter. It doesn't kind of matter what they think because it's not important. It's not about them. It's about what people want to do, moving to more positive live stream. Your live stream, very commendably, it actually says, sort of does what it says on the tin. It says no drama. Because you're not there for drama. Yes, there's a bit of Mickey taking piss take. You're not making up caricatures and slagging off other people endlessly. I mean that one with Michael. They've gone to the rice paddies, and with you when they were taking the mick out of Windsor, like only people come from Windsor. Whenever they make like the rice paddies thing, that's like a noose around their neck now because it just says, "You're pathetic. You're idiots." So every time they say it, they're just sort of confirming how idiotic they all are. Hello, Rob.
Morning, Rob.
This is the most interactive live stream Michael's ever had. I think.
Yeah.
Did you just wake up, Rob?
Say again.
You look a little tired. You look a little frazzled.
I was out last night, so. Yeah.
Rob, can I apologise for using that example? I was just on a bit of a get it off my chest rant there, so I apologise using that unpleasant example because you had a very unpleasant time with that, and I didn't want to kind of rake over it. But people do see that sort of thing, and they do have an opinion about it. So I apologise. Let's not dwell on it. But sorry.
I don't mind dwelling on it because it was. I mean, I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. I get involved. I get embroiled in stuff on there. And I did it on Friday. I can't help myself.
Well, you're kind of like a long-term contributor to that thing. I mean, as I say, I make the point is I noticed over 8 or 9 months, it used to be perhaps very entertaining at one time. It's just gone downhill, and descended into that kind of negativity. So you must feel quite aggrieved that you've enjoyed it, you've contributed to that side of things, and then it's gone like pear-shaped on you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it still has its moments. It's like anything. If you're going to do a stream for 3 hours a day, then I'm not making excuses. It's not going to be perfect, is it? But I mean, there has been a lot of instances where people have gone over the line. There's been a few things said over the last couple of weeks. I've been quite shocked, really, what people say.
Yeah.
But obviously, the time it's on in the UK, it's not the best time. But it's been left up now, isn't it? So you can actually catch up, which I don't know whether that's a good thing. I actually commented that. See, I've been going on there with the narrative of the UK's boycotting the stream. So,
but is it important? My point would be: is it important enough to boycott? Really, because I just see it as a crappy live stream. I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
they're done. It wouldn't be worth my time boycotting something like that.
No, well, I made the sort of observation that there didn't seem to be any people from the UK sort of going on the panel. I mean, it's really difficult when if you go on there. I mean, I was on there on Friday and I think there was about 10 people, but there's always the same people who kind of get airbrushed a little bit. We know who we're talking about there.
Yeah.
I've had my running. You see, it's like me and Norman Maslow. It's like love-hate, really. I mean, I gave him a bit of stick and then he sent me a load of records, which I didn't really understand. And I'm not even subscribed to his channel anymore.
Do you think he was kind of like buying your friendship, or guilt tripping?
I wouldn't like to suggest that. I wouldn't
love bombing you. Love bombing is the phrase these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't like. But a lot of the big channels, I don't even subscribe to them anymore because, like you say,
me too.
They don't need my sort of help, and I don't find them that entertaining.
Right.
You get a lot of them they have the same kind of thumbnail. It's like they've been working on it for a week. They do the video. It's kind of, they have about 4 or 5 subjects that they kind of rotate all the time. They get 20,000 views, so people are entertained. Who these people are, they need to get out a little bit more, don't they? But we know we're talking about these big channels. I know Michael's found.
I would say it's not kind of all their fault. I mean, they've done something that's made the channel popular to start with. So they put the work in, but then the algorithm has favored them, and it gives the impressions of their pages or their videos to people who are looking for vinyl community or vinyl records. And so people click on it and watch, and then it just like snowballs. So I'm well aware of this with the shorts, because I've had a bit of success with them, and that's why I've got more subs than Michael. Even though I'm acutely aware, Michael's videos are watched a lot more than mine, and he has a lot more video subs than I do. My video subs are actually quite small. I'm still very humble, small channel. And Michael is the one that's going to get monetized. I'm never getting monetized ever, and no. I'm not bothered. But YouTube is pulling all this stuff, so it's not conducive to like a balanced community. It's like biased, like you say, showing these big channels, making these big channels.
I've said to Rachel before though that having Norman Maslow on is like legitimizes the channel. So when you've got a big channel like that going on nearly every day, someone who's got, he's got 30,000 subscribers, in YouTube terms, that's like a drop in the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of painted himself into a bit of a corner.
Exactly.
Norman. I don't know where he goes. He just seems to go on every day. Like you say, if there's any nasty comments said, he tends to join in, if anything. But
I mean, Rob, that thing with you, I watched that back, and it was like, oh, don't do that. But I know you're going to do it, so it's a good laugh. And then he does it, and then the chair says, "Oh, I didn't know he was going to do that." And like I watched the fake apology episode, and that was very telling because, like I was saying, this is a lot. Some of this is about psychopathy, where I think Stunty went on. Oh, can I say something? No, F off. And you see the Jekyll and Hyde come out, and you think, this is all about power and control. I think it was very, very laudable of you, Rob, to accept the apology. But I would just question if it was a genuine apology at all.
No,
personally, I realized. Sorry,
realized he stepped over the line big time with that one.
Well, the apology was there not because they wanted to make an apology, because they knew, oh shit, we've caused such outrage. We're really in the shit here. We better do an apology episode, which was pretty contrived to say the least. And even that went off the rails. But anyway, sorry to focus on that.
If I got an invitation for an apology, I'd tell them to stick it. I'm not gonna be there for their entertainment. They can go and do one, and I don't care if they hear that. Don't invite me, because you'll get 2 fingers stuck up at you.
I should say we weren't intending to focus. We were only using that one channel because the point I was making is, hey, I've seen these incidents, and I haven't really watched that very much. I've just come in on a little few incidents. So there's loads more incidents of let's call it what it is, bullying and harassment. So there's loads more, and we were just focusing on negativity. So we're not trying to kind of tell people what to do or big up or knock that channel. People can make their own decisions, but we were just talking about negativity. That is just one crappy channel that's gone down the toilet. That's all it is.
Yeah, I found though, I was getting a lot of good comments going on. I mean, I actually stood in for the host when they were moving, and we had a great show, da-di-da-di-da. And then all of a sudden, I could see it coming. I was being elbowed because I'd become quite popular, and a lot of people that were there came over and watched on mine. I mean,
jealousy, envy.
Yeah, there was so much of it, and I just don't understand it. It's a shame, because that could have bridged that gap between the UK and America,
Exactly.
big time. But because someone had got such a big ego, they didn't see it. They couldn't see the trees for the.
That's what it's all about, control. You know,
Yeah.
I've noticed this. I had a little bit of experience with radio presenters. You see radio presenters, they project a very positive kind of airwaves view of themselves. You see them behind the scenes, they are control freaks. It's like, get out of my chair, get my coffee ready, you get this, I'm the star of the show. No, I don't want that person on. I've actually seen that, you know, firsthand myself. It really is like a power trip, control trip. The ego must have control. And I say I don't want to get negative. It's because that person, you know, needs help and support, not because they're just very evil. You know, that one of them needs counselling, the other one needs, you know, support on identity issues and what have you. But yeah, it's all about control, keeping control. I'm in charge. I'm the big cheese here. You know.
Yeah, but if you want some positivity, I actually went on Patrick, the Vinyl Archivist live stream a few weeks ago, and I was welcomed from open arms. I mean, there was Stephen McShnee on there, and it was a really good show, and I got a lot of interaction and lots of positive vibes were coming from it. So not all American.
Yeah, no, nobody's knocking America. That's exactly how it should be. Yeah,
I'm going to mention George Borden's stream. It's fantastic because it's what the vinyl community is about. It's not. It's about talking music. The trouble is, there's certain topics on that stream. Once they've talked about the Beatles, they're stuck. They are totally stuck. They forget that when you say that, they were in the 60s, they were the Stones, the Who, that were probably far more popular than the Beatles, even though the media said it was the Beatles. The Who and the Stones were selling as many records as the Beatles. But that's it. Well, this is very familiar, isn't it?
You're now officially hosting Ian's live stream. Take over, Iain.
No, I'm having it's Sunday. It's Michael's turn to be in charge. It's just nice to be part of it.
Welcome, Simon.
Welcome, Simon.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I was on there on Friday,
what I saw happen with you and Chance, that was the most polite debate that's ever happened on that live stream, because even though he had you by the short and curlies, and he did, he was polite, and he was manly enough to shut up and let you speak, rather than tackle you and steamroll you in terms of what happens on that stream.
I said that sometimes I'll just put something in the peanut gallery to provoke people and see what they say. And I was amazed that he was getting messages and he actually came on and tackled me about it. I thought it was quite funny. But I'll go up and kind of try and defend myself, even though I've dug myself a hole. But what I said to all the panelists, so they've got, is it Johnny L's on at the moment, and some guy from South Africa. I said, you've all got a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
There's been numerous people sat in your chair, and there's been Flavour of the Month. And you only last so long. Iain was Flavour of the Month. There's been numerous people sat there, and there's only Waxed who's safe, and Mazzy.
Right.
There's only space for them because other people have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90 days.
I was trying not to name names or focus individually on anybody. You just named all the names now.
I don't care. I'm sure people who appeared on here will get lampooned this afternoon.
Sure.
Well, this is what I was saying, Rob. This isn't a hit piece video. This isn't about you. We're not doing like an attack video or anything. What I'm talking about is negativity. Yeah. And yes, one stream is a better example because they've had I mean my experience is only quite limited, thankfully, but some Some people have been burnt rather badly, I think.
Dave, one of my favorite channels.
Yes.
So Simon, what are your observations, Simon?
I stay away from the show completely. I have no time for it at all. It's just I used to be involved like Rob from the beginning for maybe a year and a half or whatever, but after then I just stood away, you know.
It's too much negativity, and then you had the same kind of scenario, I guess.
Yeah, similar scenario. And I could just see like the way it was going with like the negativity of people going on there and be slated, you know. I mean that Scott guy, what you mentioned, that was pretty bad, wasn't it?
That was a full-on mental health episode, emergency, where a guy was basically mentally panicking and needing help and support, you know. And if you did that in the NHS or something, you'd be sacked immediately. You'd be out the door faster than you could sprint.
Exactly.
Absolutely. There was another incident when, I'm not going to mention the name because they're a really nice guy, but
no names.
He'd got a record player and he wasn't quite sure. He was getting into his music, and they were trying to set up this record player, but they weren't helping him. They were just ridiculing him. And I was sitting watching that, and I just left the panel because I didn't want to be a part of this guy. Instead of helping him, he thinks they were helping him, but all they were doing was taking the mickey out of him, and it was absolutely disgusting. Again, you do that if that happened on my stream, Steve was right. I'd have the old bill on my door going, Nick.
I think
and that's why I've got a zero tolerance. I mean, obviously you got Dave who watches it. Any bad language or anything that's bullying, they are just zapped.
I think anyone knew like that was going to happen eventually. You know, it was all of like a matter of time when that guy was going to have a bit of a breakdown and be completely slated by Rachel's show. You could just see it a mile off. But you know, as soon as these people go on stream, you just think, no, they're not going to last.
Yeah. I mean that does bother me. If you've got a stream that actually attracts lots of people. Let's be honest with mental health sensitivities. I mean, I clicked on one day, and there's somebody who was reading out his mental health medication live online. You know, and I'm thinking, well, this is not vital community necessarily. No. Yeah, but you know what? One day, that's if you've got people. You know, you do have people with mental health issues, and it's going to backfire big time. One day, if people are not careful, so you've got to be very, very careful. You don't know people's backgrounds. You don't know how sensitive they are. You don't know what their issues are. You know, you don't know if they've got hidden disabilities. You know, I have a hidden disability. You know, so you never really know, particularly online, unless you've met somebody and had experience of them, what they're going through or what their particular situation is.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head when you said the word cannon fodder, which is essentially what these people are.
Yeah,
you're just being treated as cannon fodder. You know, and they're well aware of, you know, what they're like when they come on and introduce themselves, and it's just a matter of time for a lot of these people.
Yeah, I think Rob's phrase there, ticking time bomb, is quite apt. But you know, you don't realise you've got a time bomb under your own seat.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
So how come Britain never came? You know, how come Rob? Why don't you host a live stream once in a while?
Yeah, I might do it in the future. You know, I need to upgrade my phone or sort of, you know, my daughter's iPad's going to be available to me, so it might be something I do.
Yeah.
You know, I think people would watch. I think if I put it on when I put it on in the middle of the afternoon at a weekend. Well, Saturday afternoon's awkward for me because I'm out. Sunday afternoon. It's, you know, I don't know what I'm doing all the time, so I wouldn't be able to make it regular. I think it's good if you can have, like Iain has a regular Thursday evening. That works, doesn't it? Because we know when he's going to turn up and we can sort of be ready. Whereas I'm not, you know, with work, etc. It's not always easy to sort of.
It's difficult with commitments.
Schedule.
I mean, Iain, what kind of tech have you got? Because I've only got a 15 quid computer here off eBay. The postage was actually more expensive than my computer, and I've only got a phone, which a reconditioned phone. So what are you actually using, Iain?
I'm on a desktop.
There's my microphone.
Right. So yours is running through a desktop, so that's
Yeah, and I've got a good little webcam.
Okay, so you got the separate components there.
Yeah, I've got it all separate. I mean, I use obviously I use StreamYard when I do my live streams, and when I record my videos, I use OBS, which is a very, very good program.
Is it like a screen capture thing? Is it?
Yeah, it's screen. I can just record straight for my videos. Like when I do my tier rankings, I can bring in the tier ranking and put me in the corner. It's all set up for that. It's really good. And then I use to do my editing, I use Magix, which is an excellent. Well, no, I brought this. It's a proper video suite. It cost me about 50 quid. But it's really good. I do all my editing in there. I do all my. The beauty of that program is I can do all my shorts in there. You can set up. It's got a menu, and you can set your screen up to do the shorts. So I've got so many templates. I mean, at the moment, I'm doing a rebrand, thanks to a little suggestion to a certain person sitting there, and it's actually worked. Thank you. I know some people say, "Oh, he was having a dig." I said, "No, he was." That's Rob being supportive.
Right.
And what you said, Rob, about me on it, I've done a thumbnail, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on, Rob. So thank you for that. See, that's what this community is about: helping each other, giving each other ideas.
Yeah.
So that's a prime example of what the community should be.
Yeah.
Rob said my thumbnails are a bit drab, and when you look at them, they are. But you don't mix that.
And Michael, this is the thumbnail you want with these guys here. not you and me boring everybody to death. So,
I'll grab it.
See, that idea for Stevie, my viewing over the week now has gone up because I think everyone expects us at the end of the thing, hold up something, doesn't matter if it's a cup, a pin or anything. I think it just makes a great thing, and it just shows what a great.
Well, Iain, what you can do is when you're doing your stream, just say to people, who are online, have you got any suggestions? You know, what would you do? I mean, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm still like basic editing and what have you. But yeah, you could ask people for suggestions, and then you can take it or leave it. You know.
Yeah.
Yes,
How friendly is StreamYard to use?
It's very simple to use. There's really not a lot of controls. You basically log in, you schedule an upcoming live stream, and you title it, you give a little description if you want, a thumbnail, and you can change the date and time. You can move it forward if your schedule changes. Right. And you can. That's it.
So is there like a StreamYard app?
It is a web-based app. So you go to StreamYard and you have these controls. I think the hardest thing with StreamYard is dealing with all of the comments. I find that it's very tough to be talking and highlighting comments at the same time. I think that is something that it takes a while getting used to. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's very hard.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do that on phone. You really need like a desktop.
Forget about trying to host on a phone. I think that would be a cluster.
Yeah, I've done that before, and it was virtually.
But I could schedule a session with you, Rob, and show you how it works. Okay, you can just reach out to me on Instagram.
And the other beauty of StreamYard, you can actually do some recording. Like this week, Dave and I are going to be doing the first round draw for Battle Royale, because that closes today, folks. At midnight.
Oh wow!
So the draw.
We know the winner already. You know.
Oh, there's some good contenders in there. So what we're going to do, I think it's either today or tomorrow, we're going to actually do the draw, and I'm going to record it in StreamYard because Dave is sort of my number, the person I can have in, and that's why he can come and manipulate things. So we're going to do.
You've got to do that live, like the FA Cup. You know, you've got to give us a chance to view that live.
Well, it might be later. I don't know. It all depends. I've got to contact Dave. But yeah, that's the other thing, you can use it as well. Yeah, I mean, we used to talk about, you know, your content. I mean, I'm sure you've all watched it. I hope you have, the Monty Python thing, and I did my little homage to Terry Gilliam. Yeah, it looks like a Thursday night. Yeah. That montage on that. I mean, it's doing all right, but I've thoroughly enjoyed doing that because I love Terry Gilliam. So.
You're doing it all yourself, Ian, or is Dave helping you? When you
I do all the. Dave's the back. Is the person that looks after all the, like when people suggest that bands, he does all that. It's me that does all the content. I couldn't do both. Dave looks after the background, and I do all the. I'm the creator.
You're right. Silence. See, silence is something that Americans just cannot deal with. The British can.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. Guess who's here?
Somebody else. Oh, right.
Oh dear. You should nickname this.
Welcome to Ian's live stream.
Hello.
Hello, Mike. Did you see any of this earlier? Did you see any of this live stream earlier, or are you just catching up now?
Sorry?
Did you see us earlier, or did you just?
No. I forgot all about you. Isn't that dreadful?
Welcome to.
I was meaning to watch from the beginning.
It's last of the summer wine, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought I couldn't have slept that late. It could be Thursday again.
Oh, we're missing his Nick's backside, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, we missed out last week, didn't we?
What's that?
Yeah. Anyway, saw you on Rachel, Rob.
Oh yeah. That was embarrassing, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a shit show, really, wasn't it? I mean,
this. What happened?
We have touched on a bit of negativity during the stream. It has to be said.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I just think, you know, I suppose if you're streaming for 3.5, 4 hours a day, you quickly run out of things to say, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, and I think possibly they ran out of things to say about 6 months ago. I had to laugh, Rob, when you said this Atlantic 75 was really boring.
Yeah.
And they spent an hour on it.
Yeah.
They then all agreed with you that it was really boring.
Yeah.
Well, that is another kind of bit of negativity. You know, I was saying to Mike that my sphere is sort of like you know, usually £5 or £10 at the charity shop. So any video that's holding up a UHQR, you know, cover or box is a video that's not going to be, you know, up my street at all. And there's a lot of like big bucks knocking around this announcement. Oh, I'm going to buy the whole series. It's like, well, I'm not, and it's not even news to me, you know, because it's this moving in the sphere of like well off. It's quite a Yeah.
I think you're right, Stevie. I mean, that's what I find. You know that you know it's people who they've got these records already. And then they say, I've just bought another copy of it, but this time it's in a big box, and it cost me 10 times what it would do, you know, at Oxfam or whatever. Not that they have Oxfam in the States, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I've got charity shop OGs in there that are going to sound better than that. Yeah. You know,
exactly.
People can have an expectation of the next thing you're going to show is that going to meet the same sort of level as what you showed last, you know, and then you end up feeling kind of hierarchy of showing these prestige records, and you can easily get caught up in it, can't you? You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. But you know, I think we all fall into the trap, don't we? We watch other people's videos, and then we think, oh, I've got to buy this, I've got to buy that, and before too long, you're in this horrible sort of place where you don't know what you're doing. I mean, I tend to I tend to sort of look at the stuff. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I try not to get influenced by people. I mean, okay, if someone shows something and I'm genuinely interested in it, I think, oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I've watched all your videos, and I've not seen one record that I'm interested in. So sorry, Mike, but I still love your channel.
Well, that's all right. Yeah.
Can I just quickly interject? I've got a special message here for Jason Roxas. Okay, special message for Jason Roxas. Not going to be on camera. I'll just move the mic over. Here you are.
Gigigugma kanamo.
Gigigugma kamako. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Cup of tea. Sorry, special message for Jason Roxas there.
I've got to go now because my phone's on the way out. But
Okay.
I want to say to Michael and Stevie, I really enjoyed your conversation. I thought it was first class. So
this is a first. This is history. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, going on from that, I did this week, I did Ranking Cats in Space, a great little British rock band. And this has got to be an American commenting. He says, because the imports into their CDs are expensive, they are on cheap discs and the quality's not there. So I'm not going to bother listening to them. So I said to him, I said, well, you do realise all their albums are on Spotify. Go and listen. Why don't you listen to them on there and enjoy the music? Because you can't get them, you're going, that's it, not interested. And I think that's, I use Spotify a lot because as Mike has just put about, I want to listen to that. So first thing you do is go and find an album on Spotify, give it a listen, you go, okay, they're okay. And if you buy them, you buy them. If not, if I want to listen to it again, I just put it on Spotify.
Right.
I know. I said to this guy, drag yourself into the 21st century.
Yeah. I mean, Iain, I didn't even have an iPhone until a short while ago. And I was using like the second model of a Nokia phone. And I just thought, I've got to drag myself into the modern era and like get a decent computer that can use Windows. I was still on Windows XP this time last year. Yeah. Can I make an announcement actually while everybody's on stream and for Rob as well? I'm doing Simon. I know you did a couple of videos. I've done a bit of a Simon, and because it's my 1K, I've gone past 1K subs, much to the annoyance of Michael because of the shots. Thank you again. Yeah. So I'm not looking for a congratulations, but I've started an idea for a thread. It's a bit of a Simon kind of idea. I've taken a book out, taken a leaf out of Simon's book.
Don't do that. Whatever you do.
So everybody here, I want you to try and do the thread. I think Mike's Swan Spiral will do the thread, but because I don't think anybody would do it because it's a bit of a challenge. But have a look at it anyway. It's the video coming on today. It's a bit of a Simon, so I just wanted to.
Oh right. So is that a challenge, though?
It is a challenge. It would be a challenge, but I think it's a nice challenge. It's a nice challenge.
Oh, good, yeah.
We'll have a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, just before I came on, I mean, you were talking about sort of, ideas for content.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm thinking, that I've got a couple of ideas, because
is there a car boot near you?
Well, not really, no.
It's good views, Mike. It's good views. Milk it.
Yeah. I'm nowhere, as you know, I'm nowhere near 1,000. But I'm rapidly or slowly approaching 300. So
congratulations.
I think I'll do something then. I just like it to be a bit of a milestone. Did you say there's a guy called Stefan 75? I think he is. He's over in the Netherlands.
No.
No, I haven't.
He's been he's been on the VC for absolutely donkey's years, and I'd not come across him before, and I think it was Record Talk. I think did a contest that Stefan started, and it just shows some Dutch records.
That's the
Oh,
challenge.
I've seen that one. I've seen that one. Yeah.
And I just thought, yeah, that's a bit different, isn't it? Because I think quite often, you end up sort of just showing the same stuff that you've shown over and over again, the stuff that everybody else shows. And I thought, yeah, that's quite good. And it made people think, and I think he gave people the option that if you couldn't do the Dutch stuff, try sort of like continental Europe.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple of videos now, and they're all pretty good.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
fine.
more and more of these push for like subscriber videos, and there's a lot which are like really failing. It's a bit sort of like almost embarrassing to see at times,
Yeah.
It's when you set the bar so high and then it doesn't happen, it's a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the fear of failure, isn't there?
There is. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Fear of missing out.
That was never a thing before. It was only sort of like maybe the last year or so that started to happen. But
yeah,
I did have a giggle on Thursday when I was in a certain stream for a few minutes that one of the toxic members of the gallery said that my channel is on the wane and I'm losing support. I don't know what planet it is from, but
well, it's all it's all those poor idiots you have on, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah, that's just a mechanism to try to make you feel bad.
Yeah, and I just thought, oh god,
doubt in your mind.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy see your analytics. He can't, can he? So like, all it's from is from that stream you were talking about before. Negativity.
Yeah, I know it's pathetic, really, isn't it? I mean, why waste your time? Making some generic sort of negative comment about somebody else's channel.
That's just
what is the
tip
point?
of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. I mean, when on occasions I've had a bit of negativity. Like when I said I didn't like Fleetwood Mac, and I just like to imagine what these people are like, and I always get this image of some guy sitting in the basement of his mum's house, and he's in his 40s, and he sits there just in his underpants, typing vitriol, sort of across the internet. I mean, some people really get off on it.
Oh yeah, well, you get a lot of power in when you're faceless and nobody knows your name. I mean, think about it. These monikers that they have, you don't know who these people are. You don't know if they're a man or a woman.
You just don't know, do you?
No.
But they seem to try and be like little working bees to impress the queen bee, and that's how I get some of them people in that gallery are the working bees. And we got to do this to do this, and then they go, look what I've done, look what I found out.
It's a playground. The playground.
It's just, it's like, I mean, there's supposed to be adults in there. I mean, I know I've said that. You're supposed to be adults.
Yeah.
But half of you act like your shoe size, which went over everybody's head.
Yeah.
I just didn't get that. But, it's like a bunch of kids.
They are. I mean, one of the worst things that I saw on Rachel, and it's quite a while ago now. Mike PC31 is also a singer. Do you not know Michael?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's quite a big name, isn't he, in the UK VC, really?
Michael who?
And, he's down in the south of England, and
PC31.
I suppose his speciality is it's Bruce Springsteen. And again, when I told the world I didn't own any Bruce Springsteen, you sent me a copy of Wrecking Ball, which is very nice of him, and it's not a bad album. But anyway, Mike's also a singer, and he's released a couple of CDs. And a while ago, Rachel mentioned Mike and said, she said Mike's a nice guy. He's also a singer, and she played some sort of clips of his music.
Okay.
And the vitriol that came out of the peanut gallery, it was just uncalled for.
Right.
Totally uncalled for. And you knew they were going to, whatever the music sounded like, you kind of got the feeling they were going to say that anyway.
Yeah. They were just setting it up as a setup, which is what that's the Machiavellian element coming in again,
Right.
Yeah. They've already made up their mind before anything's happened, basically, haven't they?
That's the problem.
There was one incident on there. I'm not going to mention the person, but they showed their family doing some Irish dancing, traditional Irish dancing, and it was lovely. Some redneck made some snarky comment about it, and I said this dance was actually probably created long before America ever existed. Do not take the mickey out of traditional Irish dancing, because I said you'll offend a lot of people.
It's called culture.
I think I witnessed that.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, I was not impressed, was I?
No. Well,
Irish roots, you see, so I was it was an insult.
Yeah. But I thought I thought all Americans were sort of proud of their sort of European heritage wherever wherever their ancestors are from. I can see you sort of you're shaking your head a bit there, Michael. Presumably you're not one of those people.
I think times have changed, and you're just getting, as time goes on, people are more out of touch with their roots and their heritage. So it's just kind of gotten very, very homogenous, and people don't want to stand up for their roots or their heritage, especially on a live stream like that. Can you imagine? So they're not going to stand up and defend themselves. I mean, the whole design of that show is either pay fealty or get whacked over the head. That's your choice. It's like Negan from The Walking Dead. Either you're with or you get your head bashed in with a baseball bat.
Oh, that's the best comment of the day.
That is an absolutely brilliant description, Michael. That is absolutely brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, but I mean,
we're at the 2-hour mark.
I got accused by the rapid reporter of that channel that I was informed that his relatives were killed in the revolution. He was just having a dig at me. Very anti-British, and then I shouldn't be up there because he feels offended that his relatives were killed in the revolution. I did remind him that happened in 17 something.
Once again, we're going to get ready for it. We're going to join you this next week. Are you ready to go again?
I am. Yeah, I'm okay. The only reason I didn't do it, that I didn't sleep much the previous night, and I was going to do it. And Dave said, "You said if you're knackered, don't do it. You can't sit." I'd have been like this, and I would have been a bore. So, I can't. It's not because I was stressed, but I carried on doing everything else. But I just was so tired. But lots to do this week. We've got spinning wheels and a lot of catch up to do, but we'll be definitely there on Thursday night. So if and you've never watched mine, come and watch them, because it's just like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. I mean, hopefully, hopefully we can always stay sort of positive, can't we?
Yes.
That's all I hope for. But I must say, Iain, I don't know what Steve is doing.
Is he creating the thumbnail,
mate?
You got to go. His phone's dying. Listen, guys. What I want to do is, if you want to stay on with me, we can do it. But let me close this out.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Stevie, big success. I couldn't have done it without you. And everybody, thanks for joining. And we are
Right, okay.